Remember the old days? You know, the people who are dead or dying? There used to be leaders. There used to be people who would come on a scene and say it the way it is, regardless of what the topic was. And they would be original and right and lead people. Remember those days? I mean, those who are old enough remember those days. There were people who had solutions and were doggedly determined to give those solutions away. Those were the days. Not the case today, right? I mean, the case today, the leaders are actually followers. I mean, the leaders are actually trying to find out what the followers like and then trying to be that. It's the most pathetic form of leadership imaginable. And we're right smack dab in the middle of it. The worst leadership paradigm shift ever. I mean, it's just horrible. I mean, you can go to the Bible and see it. You know, in 2 Corinthians 5, it says, we know what it is to fear God, and so we persuade men. You know, because we know that people don't know what they need to know, but we do. And so we make every effort to persuade people to help them have it, but it is a persuasion. It's not like, oh, well, not interested, whatever. No, you know, had someone done that with me, I'd have never made it. And those I've known would never make it if there was such pathetic leadership on that end. Likewise, you know, in Matthew 18, Jesus speaks about winning people over. You know, that somebody sees something differently and you win them over is what you do. You know, you stay after them, you understand them, and you get them where they're at and you win them over. And if you can't do it one-on-one, you get some other people involved and you win them over. And if you can't do it with a few people, you get a bunch of people together, in that case in Matthew 18, the entire church, and win them over. It used to be leadership. It used to be the way it is. And now it's just a bunch of scaredy cats. And what do the scaredy cats do, right? The scaredy cats are afraid to say anything meaningful or anything that might ruffle feathers or anything that matters or anything that might upset somebody without a clue. So the scaredy cat leaders just kind of sit there being scared, and then the ignorant followers have no idea. And then, you know, I mean, when you can sum up your entire position on life on a Facebook post or a tweet, then you got a lot to learn. But the fact is that the followers get dumber and dumber and the leaders get scareder and scareder, and that is in fact the vicious cycle we are in the middle of. And throughout history, leaders have emerged and bailed people out of such situations. And whether that will happen this go-round, I do not know. It all hinges on whether God has had enough with us, and rightfully so just says sink, or whether he gives it one more world to provide people who will shine a light in a dark place, and it would be good for people to pay attention to. And whether that happens or not, we'll see. And whether the people are even alert enough, awake enough, or alive enough to pay any attention at all, that's an open question as well, because everybody's been dumbed down so much. Scaredy leaders, dumb followers, and a vicious cycle down the tubes is what it looks like. And we'll see if it gets any better than that. But lead and persuade is the way it used to be, and the way it's still called to be, and the way it still can be. Join that chorus and make this thing turn around.